Welcome into Sniflheim Castle. Before the disaster struck, this building was known for being the handsomest palace in all Arboria. Now it is better known as the hotbed of a terrible plague. Take care that you do not catch the disease yourself, traveler. Queen Frysabel and I grew up together. We have been like sisters ever since we were little girls. And that is why it is all the more upsetting to see her having to deal with this crisis all on her own, and to be unable to do anything to help. The lift down to the dungeon is currently off limits. Forgive me, but I cannot let you pass. Believe me, it is for your own safety. The wicked witch Crystallinda is imprisoned down there. She may be the one behind this plague. There's an awful disease spreading around Sniflheim. Everyone suspected the witch of being behind it, so Her Majesty ordered her to be locked away in the dungeons. Frysabel is convinced that Crystallinda is innocent, but there was no other way to relieve her people's panic. What a terrible thing for the poor girl to have to do to her friend. She and the witch had become so close. I'm scared. The mysterious disease started to spread right after the world tree fell. Just when we had recovered from one shock, another struck without warning. Will illness just take me just as suddenly as it has the others? It is such a scary thought. I cannot stop shaking. Could it really be so? Crystallinda was once our sworn enemy, and now, not long after she returns, we are struck down by this terrible plague. You doubt that she is the one who has brought disaster upon us, but is this really the case? You will find Queen Frysabel in her throne room. It is the grand hall to the rear of the castle. She is deeply troubled about the disaster that's unfolding across the realm. If there's anything you can do to help, it would be greatly appreciated. And see what he owes. Poor Queen Frysabel. If this castle were to be stormed by the Lord of Shadow's most monstrous minions, I would gladly lay my life on the line to keep Her Majesty safe. But how am I to protect her from an adversary that is invisible and intangible, and that may strike at any moment? Many soldiers of Sniflheim have already fallen to the disease. Now we are the only ones still standing, but so long as I live and breathe, I will do my duty. Welcome in, traveler. Are you here to see the Queen? Then please, proceed up the stairs. I'm sure she'll be overjoyed to see you safe and well. We must discover the source. Ah, how good it is to see you alive and well, friend. Have you already met with Queen Frysabel? I'm currently hard at work studying the strange plague that is spreading around Sniflheim. Please, you must talk to Her Majesty. She'd be able to tell you more. What could it be? If you wish to know what is happening in our kingdom, you must speak with Her Majesty. It is not my place to talk of our nation's woes with outsiders. Erik is kind of a confused boy right now, and this probably isn't the best appearance for that stage play, so we're going to actually give him a regular outfit for the time being. I pledge my sword to Queen Frysabel and her kingdom. Even if I should be afflicted by the fever, I will protect her to my dying breath. Ever since Crystallinda taught me how to apply makeup, I have been a changed woman. I recently stopped by the armorers to buy a new axe, and came back loaded with earrings and accessories. Then the world tree fell, and the plague began to spread. Now is not the time to be dressing up.
Cheer up, Your Majesty. It might never happen. What's got you looking so glum?
Lord Rab! And your friends too. I am so happy to see you safe and well.
Aye, the feeling's very much mutual. A lot's happened since last we met.
Indeed. Yggdrasil has fallen. The world has been covered in darkness. Gold fever ravages my kingdom. But we survived. Some were not so lucky.
What's that now? Gold fever? Is there something going on round these parts we should know about?
There is. It all began a few weeks ago, you see. A strange disease started to spread across Sniflheim. It affects people, animals, even plants. Anyone or anything that catches it turns entirely to gold.
To gold?
We don't know what causes it or how to cure it, so every one of my poor subjects lives in fear of being struck down next. I tried to send for help, but every route out of the kingdom is blocked by great golden obstacles. We are completely cut off. My dear friend Kristalinda was studying the illness to try to find a cure. But in their panic, my people suspected her of spreading it instead. For her own safety, I was forced to lock her away in the dungeons. I have tried to tell my subjects she is innocent, but they simply will not listen. They are blinded by fear. This awful disease has turned my kingdom upside down.
There, Your Majesty. Dinny looks a crestfallen. We'll get to the bottom of this for you.
Oh, thank you. You are always so very kind to me. I will let everybody in the city know that you are here to help, and that they must help you in turn. Take care, dear friends.
Gold. Why gold?
Now then, laddie.
You heard what the Queen said, laddie. There's a mystery disease going around that's turning things to gold left, right, and center. Gold fever, she called it. It sounds like we won't be going to Arboria anytime soon either. Not with that golden boulder blocking the way up into the highlands. It never rains when it pours, eh? First things first, though, let's head back outside and see what the Sniflheimers can tell us about this fever. Turns people into gold. This fever. Good at... Okay, I thought Erik was gonna be like the prince or something of this place. Unless this is the witch and she wouldn't recognize Erik. I don't know. I have asked my guards to inform everyone in the city that you are here to save Sniflheim from gold fever, and that they should aid you in whatever way they can. I am sure my people will open their doors for you now. Please, you must talk with them and find out all that you can. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. You may leave the protection of Queen Frysabel in my hands. I will defend her with my life. I shall not be bowed by a mere malady. Gold fever is a fearful disease. It turns anything it infects into a statue of solid gold, people and animals alike. Many Sniflheimers suspect Kristalinda of being behind it, with her past crimes, and the fact that she is a witch, but I do not believe that. We must discover the source. I've been trying to learn more about gold fever myself, but I can find no mention of anything even faintly resembling it in any of our many books. The only explanation I can think of is that the disease is not a naturally occurring ailment. It may have been created quite recently by an evildoer with some purpose in mind. What could it be? So you're going to aid us in fighting the fever. I'm afraid our own endeavors are at something of an impasse. Just between you and me, we are no closer to finding the source of the infection than when we first began. I cannot bring myself to tell Her Majesty and the people the bad news. Her Majesty tells me that you have volunteered to find a cure for gold fever. Good luck, friend. You may be our last hope. We have heard from Her Majesty that you have agreed to lend us your aid in battling the dreaded gold fever. Thank you, Tran. Now that you have the Queen's blessing, I'm sure that the townspeople will be only too willing to open their doors to you. Gold fever started to spread right after the World Tree fell, just when we thought we were safe. It struck without warning. Will the illness take me just as suddenly as has others? It is such a scary thought. I cannot stop shaking. Is it that time already? It is almost time for my fellow maid's shift to begin. She should be here at any moment. She is an older lady, but ever such a hard worker. Even in these troubled times, she has never missed a shift. She must have cleaning fever. Her Majesty has ordered us to aid you in whatever way you need. If you wish to use the lift to go down to the dungeon, you are free to pass. Thankfully for me, gold fever has not yet spread to these dungeons. If you wish to learn more about the disease, you would be better off asking upstairs, or in the city. Kristalinda is currently imprisoned in a cell beyond these doors. The cage itself is a relic from the Age of Heroes. Its bars are completely resistant to magic, so even one as powerful as the Wicked Witch herself cannot break free. Man. I was hoping like she was just downstairs with like a lab and stuff that she was working on and full control over the basement, but no, they've actually got her caged up. Ah, Tran. How nice of you to visit. Don't worry, you won't catch anything from me. I have nothing to do with that ridiculous gold fever. But when you are a witch, people will insist on blaming you for everything. With good reason, I suppose. If it makes them feel better, I'll play along. Anyway, enough about me. There's something you must know. Gold fever is no ordinary illness. I have used enough black magic in my time to recognize its hallmarks. It is not a plague. It is more akin to a curse. Whoever crafted this magic is more powerful than I ever was. Only you, Luminary, have the strength to stop them. I'm probably the last person you would want to do a favor for, but please, for Frizzy's sake, find this person and break this curse. We're all counting on you. Thought I saw a guy in the back, but no. Having arrived on Sniflheim strangely sailing ashore, our heroes soon suspect that something is amiss. Tran, Rab and Erik set off toward the castle to see if Queen Frysabel is okay. The queen is pleased to see the companions alive and well, but talk soon turns to the troubling condition causing chaos in her kingdom: gold fever. This dangerous disease turns man, beast, and plant alike into blocks of solid gold. Vowing to find the cause of this contagion, the party step out into the city to speak with Sniflheim's citizens. Perhaps one day, when a cure for gold fever has been found, it will be known for its beauty again, and not for misery and pain.
Ah, there you are. Is everything all right?
Not exactly. You see, the Queen seemed awful sad, and she told us about this. Ah! Hello there, madam. Do you have a minute to talk to us? We'd like to ask you a few questions.
Do I have a minute, he asks. How can I know when every second might be my last? You do well to leave this place before you turn to gold too. Wait, I know you. You're that boy, Erik.
You know me?
Oh, don't be silly. Everyone in Sniflheim knows you. You're the... No! This can't be happening!
What's the matter, dear? Are you okay?
It's got me.
I take it this is a case of gold fever. It's horrible.
Erik, honey, are you okay? Tell me where it hurts.
Erik? I heard a commotion and came running. I never thought that I would find you here.
Do you know our friend, Father? He's an old pal of ours, but we lost him after the fall. I fear he's taken a blow to the head somewhere along the way. He doesn't remember a thing about his life before then.
Oh, my poor child. Perhaps I can help to jog your friend's memory. Come to the church by the city gates, and I will tell you what I know of his past.
We're just gonna ignore the gold statue? I mean, I know the player wants to find out more about Erik, but what about the people here? They're just gonna ignore that lady. That priest we met outside the castle said he knew me. Maybe he could help me remember my past. The church is by the main gate. Can we go and see him?
How can this be?
To turn people to gold when they least suspect it. Truly, this plague is a vicious one. We know nothing of its origins or how it spreads, only its name, gold fever. Could this be the Lord of Shadow's doing too? That poor lady turned to gold right in front of our eyes. She must have caught that fever Rab was telling us about. One minute she was walking around without a care in the world, and the next she was a shiny statue. Now I see why everybody's shut themselves up inside their homes.
Maybe.
I've never seen anything like it. That woman turned into a gold statue right in front of our eyes. It all happened so fast. No wonder everyone around here is living in fear of catching the fever. Gold fever is even nastier than I thought. It turned that poor old woman to gold quick as a flash. We have to find a cure, and fast. But first of all, let's see what that priest has to tell us about Erik's past. Maybe he'll be able to help us work out what's behind the fever too. Tran's quest to find his lost friends and a way to Arboria continues. He is happy to be reunited with Erik, but not so happy to learn that his old accomplice is suffering from amnesia. The party continue on their way, but are barred from entering Sniflheim Bay by a great golden iceberg and have to go the long way around instead. Once there, Queen Frysabel tells them that her kingdom is gripped by gold fever, an affliction that turns sufferers to solid gold. The party offer to help and begin by investigating the city. In the square, they speak with an old local lady, but before they can learn anything, she turns into a 24-carat statue right before their very eyes. The sight is too much for Erik, who breaks down screaming in terror. The local priest approaches, having come to investigate the commotion, and it becomes clear that he knows who Erik is. Having learned of his amnesia, the kindly clergyman asks the friend to come to their church, where he means to tell them more of what he knows. There's no response. She's just a golden statue. So now you have seen for yourself the terrible effects of gold fever, and there is no cure. No way for us to escape its clutches. One day it will come for us all. Gold fever has struck again. This world is going to wreck and ruin, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. Jola! This is not the time to be running away from your pen. Don't you know that a lady just turned to gold in the square? I don't want you coming down with the fever too. Just in case talking to the priest changes everybody's dialogue in town, we're going to talk to people in the town first. I want to go outside to try to find a cure for gold fever, but Mama won't let me. She says I have to stay indoors. Hey, Wanderer, you're allowed to go outside, right? Will you find a cure for us? I don't want Mama to turn to gold. The boy is far too curious for his own good. First he was obsessed with the witch, and now he will not stop talking about this awful fever. Please, Wanderer, would you tell him not to do anything dangerous? I don't want to lose him. Hey, what are you two doing out here? Do you want to catch the fever? You must take shelter right away. A woman was struck down not 20 paces from this very spot. Gold fever is causing me enough problems. Why must I have to worry about love sickness too? We will be together forever. I can never bear to be apart from you. Even if the gold fever takes us, our love will never die. I love you so much. I love you so much, my darling. If it meant that I could stay by your side forever, I would gladly turn to gold. I am so bored. I don't understand what that super fever thinks is so fun about turning everyone to gold. Sure, gold is nice and shiny, but you can't do anything exciting with it. But with a pile of shiny white snow, you can have a snowball fight with all your friends. Very strange. I'm trained to be an astrologer. I know very little about gold fever. But when I heard that you and your friends were here to help, I tend to divine your future from the movement of the stars. However, the only thing I saw was the single word, forgiveness. Does this mean anything to you? You're an unfortunate one, friend, to come to Sniflheim at a time like this. If I were you, I would run away as fast as my legs would carry me. But you're not running, you're trying to find a cure for the fever. I could never be as brave as you. The Vikings who rove the northern sea have a hideout nearby. It's in a cave just around the coast from the harbor. They used to come here all the time, some to trade, others to drink the mead hall dry. But it has been some time since they last showed their faces. I hope they're okay. A giant golden boulder suddenly appeared in the entrance to Sniflheim Bay, and another in the Snarefelt too. I don't know if they have anything to do with the fever, but they are blocking all traffic in and out of the kingdom by land or sea. We are completely cut off. There's nothing for us to do down at the docks, so now we spend our days in the mead hall instead, drowning our sorrows. Since the Golden Plague appeared, I have hardly sold a drop of mead. Even the Vikings, my very best customers, are nowhere to be seen. They've been struck down by gold fever too? I've thought about sailing around the cape and delivering a few barrels directly to their hideout, but I fear the danger is too great. What, did the guards haven't even bothered to check it out then? He was my one and only admirer. Every day I would catch his eye, and he would come to drink in the mead hall, and now he is gone. Nobody so much as looks my way anymore. I have lost the will to flirt. Might as well just turn to gold and be done with it. Sniflheim is home to many dangerous monsters. If you're planning to cross it, you would do well to leave your money with us first. Many Sniflheimers believe that gold fever is the work of the Wicked Witch, but those people are gravely mistaken. I followed Crystalinda's career more closely than any other. Even if she wanted to turn people to gold, it is not within her power. This is someone else's doing. I've lived in Sniflheim my entire life, and I have never known such dark days as these. Is this all the result of Yggdrasil falling from the sky? I wish I could make the children a nice steaming pot of fisk sup, but ever since the gold fever struck, we haven't been able to get the ingredients. We're all doing our very best to keep their little bellies full, but unless somebody finds a cure, they will start to go hungry soon enough. Master Snore and I have scoured the ancient tomes for any mention of gold fever, but alas, we have come up empty-handed. There is no reference to anything like it in the entire written record. It must be a completely novel illness, or perhaps it is not an illness at all. Mama says I'm not allowed to play outside until the fever goes away, but I'm so bored. I want to have a snowball fight. I'm really good at throwing snowballs. All the boys wish they could throw like me. Gold fever, la la la. Gold fever, la la la. Fear of gold descends on the silver town and drags it down. Do 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 do. Such gold fever, la la la. Pretty girl, beware of that golden hex. You might be next. Yeah, that's real tasteful. Mr. Minstrel has been singing a lot of scary songs lately. I'm sure he'll sing something nice again eventually. I just have to keep listening. My daughter and I love music more than anything. I'd hoped that listening to the skalds sing would ease our troubled minds, but it does not seem to be working. What do I know about gold fever? Nothing that would help, I fear. I only pray that you can save my girl from its clutches. She has many more songs to hear. The Reverend Father waits you inside. We'll talk to her in a minute. We still gotta talk to everybody else in town. Ever since people started to come down with gold fever, our suppliers' boats have been staying away, and business has dried up almost entirely. I still have plenty of good pieces in stock. My pride as an armorer, I always make sure my customers go home happy. And if I can help to keep them safe, I will be happy too. Yggdrasil has fallen, and gold fever has ravaged our kingdom. But no matter what happens, we must keep trading. If you wish to buy any of my weapons, come around to the front. I'm sure I will have something that will help you fight your way through this perilous world. Let's see what they have in stock. I don't know if I like to activate each merchant just in case it adds something to my encyclopedias in the game. The scholars of Sniflheim have long been regarded as the most advanced students of the arcane arts in all Arboria, and yet the cure for gold fever escapes them. It seems they were not quite so clever as we thought. This is a sad discovery, and a frightening one. What's that, mister? You're looking for a lady called Lily, eh? Well, my name is Lily. Is that close enough? I'm only joking. I know exactly who it is you're looking for. Lillian is the name of my mama's mama. Are you a friend of hers? Give Lillian's diploma to Lily? No. Maybe there is more than one Lillian then. I hope you find your friend, mister. Yes, Tran hands over the diploma de l'Académie. It is a letter from my grandmama. I'm sorry, mister, but she will not be able to read it. She isn't here anymore, you see. She went to see the World Tree. I mean, she passed away. Her story was a very sad one. She came from Svardrest, you see. One day, not long before she would have graduated, it was destroyed by the monsters. They hurt her mommy and daddy and stole all their money. She had to leave the school she loved and start working so that she could pay the doctors who were trying to make her mommy and daddy better. Because of what she went through, she always wanted me to study very hard so that I could one day go to the school she loved so much and learn to be a lady. That's what I'm going to do. When I am older, I'm going to the l'Académie de Notre Maître des Médailles. I'll finish the studies that my grandmama never managed to and make her happy up in heaven. But just listen to me going on and on. You don't want to hear my troubles. You just want to deliver your letter, I am sure. I cannot give it to her exactly, but I can put it on her grave the next time I go to see her. I'm sure she'd like that. He gave Lillian's diploma to her granddaughter Lily. You should head back to l'Académie de Notre Maître des Médailles and tell Madame Augustine what you found out. My grandmama told me that there was a very, very scary teacher at her school called Madame Augustine. Every time grandmama played one of her funny jokes, Madame Augustine would turn bright red and chase her around the classroom with a ruler. This strange thing is, whenever my grandmama told me scary stories about her, she always had a big smile on her face. She was a funny lady. It was always my dream to build my business and amass a great fortune, but now whenever I see a gold coin, it reminds me of the fever, and I start to quiver with fear. But so long as I still have customers who want to buy my wares, I will persevere. Perhaps I have something in stock that might interest you. The fever forced me to close my stall, but this kind lady has allowed me to set up shop in here. Sniflheim might be cold and frosty, but its people are the exact opposite. I used to run a stall in the street selling the finest herbs and spices from all over Arboria. Then those golden glaciers suddenly appeared and cut the kingdom off from the outside world. Business has completely dried up. I raised these horses from foals. They are like children to me. Soon it'll be time to send them away to Galapagos to race in the Sand National. Till then, that rotten gold fever can keep its hands off. Heave-ho! Heave-ho! Snow won't stop piling up while we wait for the fever to go away. If I didn't keep clearing it away, we'd be blocked in completely. Right, enough talking. I need to shift this stuff quickly before I turn to gold. Heave-ho! 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 Before we go talk to the priest, let's go do the academy quest real quick. Hello again, Monsieur. Did you have any luck in finding Lillian and giving her the diplôme? Tran tells Madame Augustine that Lillian has passed away, that he was able to give her diploma to her granddaughter Lily instead. Oh, is that so? It's too late then. Whereas the people of Zvardress were scattered far and wide after the kingdom fell, many could not find the strength to carry on, but Lillian was always dire cure, how you say, a real tough cookie. She did what she had to do to make sure her family pulled through. Merci, Monsieur. Thank you for delivering the diplôme. Now I can finally retire sans regrets. Here, I want you to take this. It is only une petite chose, a little thing, but I hope that it helps you on your way. Tran receives a recipe book entitled Gear That Glitters. You told Madame Augustine that you handed the diploma over to Lillian's granddaughter Lily. While she was sad to hear the news of her former student's passing, she looks forward to Lily's enrollment at the academy. I thought that I might retire soon, but if Lillian's granddaughter is to come here, perhaps I will stay a little longer. Since that her name was Lily, est ce correct? Just like your grandmère. I only hope that she does not have the same penchant for mischief. Alright, let's take a look at our quest catalog. So we've got everything but 2 quests in the game done. So whatever these last 2 yet. It says can't be accepted yet, so probably... I don't know if it always said that, but this is likely since those are the last 2 quests in the game that something is special about them. Maybe. Alright, I guess we're done here. Back to Sniflheim we go. Welcome into the Crystal Kingdom of Sniflheim, home of beautiful buildings and shining white snows. Under the danger of being turned to gold at any moment, I stand here every day warning wayward travelers to stay well away. The Reverend Father awaits you inside. The Reverend Father told me that he wished to speak with you. You will find him in the vestry, the room at the back of the church. Please, let yourselves in. I hear that you're more likely to catch gold fever when you are outside. That is why I'm taking shelter in here. Thankfully, the priest is a kindly man, so he lets me stay. For as long as I can remember, it has been my daily ritual to take a stroll around town and see the sights of Sniflheim, but since this fever struck, I have had to stop. The great city was beautiful enough without being filled with these gaudy golden statues.
Ah, there you are. I am glad to see you safe and well, Erik. It has been 5 long years since last we met.
I was here 5 years ago? Did I used to live here or something?
Not quite. The Viking raiders, who once roamed the northern seas, would often stop here to buy supplies, or to drink away their ill-gotten gains at the inn. And when they came, Erik, you came with them.
I'm a Viking?
So that is why the men I sent to scour Heliodor for details of your origin would always return empty-handed. You were born here, a Viking.
Not born one. Erik and his younger sister were orphans. The Vikings found them, took them in, and raised them as their own. Whether that was for good or bad, I really couldn't say. By all accounts, they treated the poor children like slaves. Then, one day, we heard rumors that Erik's sister had passed away. And though the Vikings returned, Erik never did.
Stop.
Is the sister the bad guy here?
It has always saddened me that I was not able to help those poor children more. Perhaps if I can help you to recover Erik's memories, it might...
I said stop! I need to be alone for a while.
Leave your gear.
Forgive me. It was tactless of me to reveal so much so soon. Please, go to your friend. I will join you when he has had a chance to settle down.
Come on, Tran, let's go and find Erik. We can't leave him all alone out there, especially with this gold fever going around. He can't have gone far. I'm sure he'll still be somewhere in the city. Erik was raised by Vikings. Why did he not follow in their footsteps? Why did he leave their fellowship and become a thief? The Sniflheim Vikings are known to sail the northern seas, hunting for treasure. Might something untoward have happened on one of their raiding voyages, perhaps? Well, Erik certainly left in rather a hurry, and the way he shouted at that priest, so rude. If you ask me, there's something seriously wrong with that boy. We do need to work out what's going on with this disease, but right now I'm more worried about Erik. The lad was in a bad way back there. Let's go and find him, shall we? When they step into the square, they witness the horrible sight of a woman being turned into gold, and also meet a priest who claims to know of Erik's past. Having spoken with him at the church, they learn of Erik's unpleasant upbringing and of how he and his sister were raised by Vikings. Apparently, he hasn't been seen in Sniflheim since his sister's supposed death. Upon hearing this, Erik suddenly storms from the room and the party hurry after him. I'm not really sure we're hurrying that much. Forgive me, I did not properly consider Erik's feelings. I should not have said so much so soon. Please, go to your friend. He cannot have gone far. I will join you later when he has had a chance to calm down. Your friend with the blue hair just ran through here in a tremendous hurry. What in the world happened in there? That boy he just ran through here was just my type. Kind of moody, but dashing too. If the fever took him, he would make a real handsome statue. Oh, I'm sorry, I should not talk about your friend in that way. Please forgive me, I did not mean any offense. Is your friend alright? He burst out of the church and ran away toward the western gate. He seemed to be very upset about something. Is he in that little nook that has nothing in it? The snow won't stop piling up while I wait for the fever to go away. If I didn't keep clearing it away, we'd be blocked in completely. By the way, I just saw your friend running through the back gate over there. He had a face like thunder. There's nothing on that side of Sniflheim apart from the cliff that looks out over the bay. I wonder what he could be up to out there.
Huh? Hey, I'm sorry I ran off like that. It's just... Huh. Is that...
That ship, if the townspeople's shouts are anything to go by, it is not a welcome sight.
I will take care of Erik. Please, you must hurry to the harbor.
Isn't that what your guards are for?
Empty your pockets, sniveling Sniflheimers. It's time to pay tribute to the great and glorious Gildigger. All your gold belongs to us. Come on, you glittering curs, let's get to work. Grab the golden statues and load them into the longboat.
Blast!
Did you see the ship that drew into the harbor? No doubt you heard the screams that heralded its arrival. But seeing that Sniflheim has some unwelcome visitors, come Tran, let us ready ourselves for battle and hurry to the city gates. Do you hear that, Tran? Monsters inside the city walls. We have to protect the townspeople, and there isn't a second to lose. Don't worry about Erik, laddie. The priest will take good care of him. Let's away to the harbor. If the townspeople's screams are anything to go by, the ship that just docked down there isn't a welcome sight. I've never seen Erik moan and groan like that. I don't know what's got him so shaken up, but we have to sort it out as quickly as we can. I want the old Erik back. When they step into the square, they witness the horrible sight of a woman being turned to gold, and they also meet a priest who claims to know of Erik's past. Having spoken with him at the church, they learn of Erik's unpleasant upbringing and of how he and his sister were raised by Vikings. Erik storms from the room upon learning this, and his friends hurry after him, eventually finding him staring out to sea. Just as he seems about to open up, a scream echoes across the bay, and a sinister ship pulls into port. This seems to awaken some sort of uncomfortable memory for Erik, and having left him in the care of the priest, Tran and the rest of the party hurry to defend the town from its attackers. The golden soldiers of the spectral sentinel Gildigger. Where the... No, they can't have been. Oh, my head. I will take care of Erik. Please, Tran, you must hurry to the harbor. There's a campsite on the way to the harbor from here. Just follow the path around the city walls and you will find it. You can make your preparations there. I do not know what awaits you by the city gates. I would urge you to pray for protection before you venture forth. Okay, well, I will save, but I want to check out if I can go through the town instead of going around the harbor. The doors are locked from the inside. Tran hears the screams of the townspeople coming from the other side of the doors. They must have been locked to keep the intruders out, but to no avail. Blimey! Tran, you ain't gonna believe this. A boatload of weird, shining skeletons just barged their way into town, and they're kicking up a right royal ruckus. Now ain't the time to be sailing off into the sunset. You gotta go save them Sniflheimers.
Move it, metal-headed morons! Get the statue back to the ship. You don't want to keep Gildigger waiting.
The monsters are making away with the people who were turned to gold. Could the fever be their doing?
What are you looking at? Mess with us, and you'll have to answer to the great and glorious Gildigger, shining star of the spectral sentinels.
Cease your boastful blustering, fiend! You dare disturb the peace of this fair nation? Then it is you who shall answer to us!
You think you can stop us? Feeble flesh bags? You're not even worth stealing. The boss only likes two kinds of humans, gold ones and dead ones. Let's bury 'em, boys.
Well, that was easy.
Their companions are fleeing! After them! Over there.
Erik! They've got Erik! Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! How? Why?
Never mind why. They must be stopped. Quickly.
We were too slow. Oh, Erik.
We are getting that boy back, and we are doing it right now. Where's that priest? He'll know where they've taken him.
I don't believe it. Those rattling rotters have abducted our Erik. Maybe that priest will know where they've taken him. Last time we saw him, he was up on that lookout to the west of the city. So what are we waiting for, honey? Westward ho!
Now then, laddie.
Don't fret, laddie. We'll get Erik back. Maybe the priest was taking care of him. We'll know where those monsters are headed. Now isn't the time to be standing around chatting. We have to find out where those monsters have taken Erik. Forgive me, Tran. I was so preoccupied with defeating those fiends that I failed to notice their accomplices absconding with Erik. Rest assured that I shall not fall for such a feint again. We will find Erik, save him, and make those monsters pay for their crimes. And we could have just left some people with the boat. In fact, I checked the boat before I did anything. Whatever. Before they can learn much, a ship sails into port with a raiding party aboard sent by their spectral sentinel Gildiga. These sparkling soldiers start to carry away the solid gold citizens of Sniflheim, and our heroes step in to stop them. It seems more than likely that their attack has something to do with the golden plague gripping the kingdom. Tran and the party succeed in sending Gildiga's forces packing, and they flee with the statues they had already stashed on their ship. As the boat pulls out of harbor, the friends spot Erik sitting on the deck. He's been kidnapped. In order to save him, they'll need to find out more about where the Gildenauts came from. Hold your horses, Tran. Word of advice from a seasoned sailor. You don't set sail until you know exactly what's waiting for you out there in the water. What if they got a massive ship with a zillion cannons on it or something? Nah, we're better off asking around town where them gold blokes got their base and sneaking up on them there. That religious-looking feller, the purple skirt, seems to know his onions. Maybe he'll know where those rudders have taken our mate. Those golden fiends came out of nowhere. If you had not been here to drive them back, Sniflheim might well have fallen. Thankfully, the city is safe. What are the people who were standing on the lookout to the west when the monsters attacked? I hope they were not hurt. I know I'm supposed to go west, but I want to talk to people now. When those golden monsters forced their way through the gates, we ran home as fast as our legs would carry us. Thankfully, we managed to escape their clutches. I brought my daughter out here to hear the Scald sing, with the hope that it would bring a little joy back to our hearts. But all that has brought us was danger. Stealing the fever-struck souls, cold-hearted skeletal foes, they're indestructible. Always they're stealing their gold. I sensed that the monsters did not come here to attack the castle. They seemed far more focused on collecting the bodies of those struck down by gold fever. Thank goodness they had thievery, not destruction on their minds. This time at least. If they stormed these gates, I doubt we would have been able to keep them out. Thank you, friends. If not for you, those golden monsters might have forced their way inside the castle. We survived this time, but I doubt whether we would be able to withstand another such assault. Truly, they were vicious creatures indeed. Ah, Tran, my guards told me what happened, that your friend Erik was taken away by the monsters. I'm so sorry to have dragged you all into this, but still it is strange. Why would the monsters take him? He'd not been turned to gold like the others. They must have kidnapped him for a reason. But what? Actually, before I... Oh, Father, where are you? Reverend Father is not here at present. If you wish to offer your prayers to the heavens, please go to the campsite to the southwest of the city. Where can he have disappeared to? I pray that he is not heard. What a shock. One minute I was shoveling snow, the next I was running from a gang of golden skeletons. I've been as scared as that since the time the drunken Viking accused me of looking at his booty. Thank goodness you are safe. After those monsters left, I came out to make sure everyone was alright. Imagine my surprise to see the priest all the way out here, and looking so sad. I've lived in this land all my life, but until this day I've never seen or even heard of those golden monsters. Yet they seem somehow familiar. I'm sure I've heard voices like these before somewhere. Phew. I've never been so scared in my life. Those golden monsters came out of nowhere. I was lucky enough to see it all from the safety of my home. When I heard the Reverend Father was outside the city gates when they attacked, I feared the worst. Father, you're right? I heard that those golden skeletons who attacked the town came around this way, so I hurried here as fast as I could. It seems the priest was set upon by the monsters. He has had quite a shock. Thankfully, they did not hurt him, but I'm afraid his young friend was carried off.
I am sorry. The creatures found us, and I was powerless to stop them taking Erik away.
Please, do not be so hard on yourself, Father. It is a miracle that even you escaped with your life. When we heard that you were outside the gates when the monsters attacked, we feared the worst.
Curse those sparkling scoundrels! They have run away with every man, woman, and child struck down by the fever. They just picked them up and carried them off like so much plunder. Do they mean to sell our friends, our families?
But then why would they take Erik? He had no valuables in his possession, and he was not afflicted by the fever. And yet, they headed straight for him. It is almost as if they knew exactly who he was. Wait a moment. The way they spoke, the ship they sailed in, could they be?
You know, I had the very same thought.
Yes. I thought maybe those things had usurped the villains, but it seems they are them. But how?
Those gold-hungry horrors. They may look different, but we know them. We know them very well indeed. The way they moved, acted, talked. The fact that they knew who Erik was. There is no mistaking it. They were Vikings. They used to have a hideout near here, in a little cave just around the headland. I think that is where they have taken your friend.
If those monsters are actually Vikings in disguise, maybe they took Erik back to their super secret hideout. It's in a cave just around the cape from Sniflheim Harbor. Everyone knows that, right? Come on, darling, we've got a blue-haired boy to save.
Interesting.
So Erik used to work for the Vikings here, alongside his wee sister, and now a gang of golden horrors have grabbed him and taken him away. I cannot help thinking there might be some connection between the two things.
Maybe.
These golden monsters have a lot to answer for. They've stolen the Sniflheimers' possessions, the bodies of the people who were struck down by gold fever, and now they've taken Erik. It seems they're working for someone or something called Gildiga, but I still don't understand what the point of it all is. Those monsters have stolen every last scrap of treasure from the people of Sniflheim, and that is but the least of it. Stealing the bodies of those afflicted by gold fever is truly unforgivable. In my honor as a knight of Heliodor, I cannot allow this crime to go unpunished. Vikings I knew were rough and ready and always spoiling for a fight, but they were not bad people at heart. What in the world could have happened to them? Reverend Father's suspicions are correct. Those skeleton soldiers were once people just like you and me. What a terrifying thought. I feared the fever, but I would much rather be transformed into a soulless statue than a mindless monster. The Vikings used to make port here all the time. I would often meet with them when I was working the docks. The creatures who stormed the city gates and made away with our frozen friends really have been the same rough yet lovable fellows? I cannot believe it. And it makes sense. Their voices, their attitude, their seafaring skills, all were the same. I don't know what to think anymore. The way those goat-hungry horrors spoke and acted reminded me very much of the Vikings who once frequented our city. Very much. I fear I know exactly what has happened. The Vikings have somehow been transformed into monsters and have taken Erik back into the fold. Their base is in a cave just around the coast to the west. That must be where they have taken your friend. Darn it, Erik, that's why I told you to leave your gear. Those golden fiends attacked without warning. If not for you, I doubt they would have stopped the rampage and the city was a ravaged shell. But we did not escape unscathed. They made off with all those turned to gold by the fever. And a good deal of jewelry too. It was like some kind of Viking raid. Tran's quest to find his friends and a way to Arboria continues, and he's finally reunited with Erik, who's unfortunately suffering from amnesia. The party arrive in Sniflheim, where they're soon embroiled in a search for information about gold fever, an affliction plaguing the kingdom. Soon after their investigation begins, the town is attacked by Gildonauts, underlings of the spectral sentinel Gildiga, who run off with some citizens who've been turned to gold and with poor Erik to boot. With the Gildonauts gone, the party go to speak with the priest, who suspects that the attackers may in fact be the Vikings who once frequented the town. The companions set a course for the Vikings' hideout in order to find out how much truth there might be behind this intriguing idea. If the priest is right, those shiny so-and-sos who took Erik will probably be back at the Vikings' hideout. It's just around the cape from Sniflheim. Come on, honey, let's sail on in and save our friend.
Maybe.
Sylvana was the only one that was new. Everybody else is a repeat. Sniflheim region.
You want to speak with little old me?
If what the priest said is true, we should head off to those metallic monsters without delay. Come on, darling. This is no time to be leaving poor Erik to fend for himself.
Interesting.
Feast and be merry, boys. We got a good haul today. Gildiga's sure to reward us. We did especially well to bag this one. The boss has been after him for a long time.
Go in and try to save Erik from the monsters? No. Priest was right. The rotten monsters have holed themselves up in the old Viking hideout. Come on, darling. It's time for our grand entrance. We mustn't keep dear Erik waiting.
Interesting.
Suspecting that the Gildonauts might once have been Vikings, the priest points the party to their hideout, a small cove northwest of Sniflheim. Our heroes sail there to find them celebrating their most recent acquisition, Erik, who sits silently in a cage. It seems the sparkling soldiers intend to offer him the Gildigga as a tribute.
Hey! What the heck are you doing here? Wait, I know you. You're that rotten luminary.
You're dead right, Chief. He looks just like the picture on the wanted poster. He's the luminary, all right. I'll run up to the Gilden Hall and let the boss know he's here.
Seems you're quite the celebrity, darling. I can't say I'm not jealous.
This is no time for jokes, Sylvando. We're here to rescue Erik, remember?
You think you're going to plunder our plunder? Just try it. We'll beat you blacker and bluer than the Lord of Shadows did.
Hey, Chief! Just imagine the reward you'd get if you took him the luminary's head on a platter. One of those empty spectral sentinel seats could be yours.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Come on then, boys. Let's swipe ourselves a skull that's worth its weight in gold.
For Gilden Bruises!
Sorry to leave you stewing in there, laddie. They didn't hurt you, did they?
Well, you're safe now. Let's head back to Sniflheim. The priest's worried sick about you.
Aye.
Something is still not right. Erik, what did those fiends do to you?
I was here, and they were... Yeah. So... she must be... I've... gotta go.
What was all that about, Come on, darling. We'd better get after him. Perhaps...
Let's get Erik's goat. He could have at least acted like he was pleased to see us. Instead, it was almost as if he didn't see us at all. Let's get after him, honey. He should still be somewhere near the Vikings' hideout. Did you hear that, laddie? Erik's muttering something about his past as he walked away. Do you think being back in the Ald hideout might have brought back a memory or two? Thank goodness we were able to save Erik from those awful monsters. He was acting very strangely though, wasn't he? Did those fiends do something to him, do you think?
I must speak with you.
We know not what this wicked scheme this Gildigga creature had in mind when it commanded its forces to steal the bodies of the fever victims. Let us proceed with the utmost caution. Suspecting that the Gildenauts might have once been Vikings, the priest points the party to their hideout, a small cove northwest of Sniflheim. Our heroes sail there to find them celebrating the most recent acquisition, Erik, who sits silently in a cage. It seems the sparkling soldiers intend to offer him to Gildigga as a tribute. On seeing this, the companions waste no time in stepping forward to lock swords with his cruel kidnappers. The glimmering Gildenauts defeated, Erik is freed from his cell, but instead of saying thank you, he stumbles away muttering strangely to himself. The concerned party set out after their friend, who is clearly not okay. I figured he'd be inside the little area to the north that I could never get into. I just wanted to explore this side first.